for joining us, the people who started with us from the beginning, the people who were with us 10 months in and carry on to walk with us. And we just couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you for the ongoing support. Thank you for the supports in all the petitions that went flying around, for the ongoing messages, the love, the care. It's not going unnoticed, and the community here and those bereaved and survivors of Grenfell really do feel it. So on behalf of everyone, thank you again. I just want to say a massive thank you and a round of applause for the Deen Riders for causing a big stir in London today for us. I'm going to pass you over to the man who helped organise the Deen Riders today, who will tell you a bit more about why and what they did today and their journey and their route.
Thanks very much. Basically, without going too long with this, I don't really feel as if I have the right to be on this stage. Right? I don't feel like I have the right to go on this stage because of the fact that this is all about you guys, everyone who does this march every month, and those of you who actually suffered as a result of this injustice that's taken place. But let me just give you a bit of a background to what's happened. Deen Riders, we're a Muslim motorcycle organisation, and we work with charities in the UK and around the world, and we help to raise funds and awareness for very important humanitarian causes. But what happened is, after the Grenfell fire, we felt a bit ashamed that we weren't able to do enough. And the message that I've been putting through for the last few days is that, you know, most of us, we watched it on the news when it happened. And we watched it on the news, and this was taking place on our very doorsteps, where we could probably see the smoke we could smell the smoke, we could probably see the flames from our windows, but yet we watched it on TV as if it was 1,000 or 1,000,000 miles away. And as I keep saying, I know that it's not a case that we want to get in the way of the emergency services. We don't want to do that at all, but we can't distance ourselves from such atrocities that's taken place. And it is an atrocity because it's, you know, subhanAllah, I mean, it absolutely is an atrocity, because every one of us knows that you've been in the UK, we've lived here all of our lives, and if there's ever been a fire in a block of flats, it is always contained into one small area, and everyone is always safe. So what happened here, you know, putting fuel for the fire, is something which, you know, we stand by Grenfell United when they say that they want justice. And again, this is the reason why we're here. So I wanted to also to give a little message for the government, for Theresa May, and I hope this message is on behalf of everyone as well. So, as you might have gathered, my name is Jamal, I'm Muslim, and the person, the human being that is revered most to me is our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And he's also been acknowledged and recognized by the wider community as well as the greatest man, the greatest leader, and I'll to give you one of the reasons why. So there was an occasion, there was a night where there was a large catastrophic sound which alarmed the whole community. When this happened, the bravest of that community, they gathered. And of course you can understand that people are going to be a little bit nervous, they're going to be a bit scared, and it takes a little while for that adrenaline to kick in to actually take action. So eventually when they took action, they got themselves together, and as they were about to go out to find the source of this sound, they could see a horse in the distance coming back towards them. And they did not know who this person was. When they looked in the distance, they were looking to see who this person was. And when they looked and they waited, they found that it was the same person, the leader of the community, who had gone out on his own to find out what was wrong. So I have one question to Theresa May. Where were you on the night that Grenfell Tower was set ablaze. And where were you the day after Grenfell Tower had set ablaze? These are very important questions because we need to know. We need to ask Theresa May, what does this position of Prime Minister mean to you? What does this position of leadership mean to you? Do you truly feel accountable? Do you truly feel responsible for your community, for your people? And this is the thing that we need to ask her, so that, you know, we understand, every one of us here, we understand what it is like for our neighbours to be in such a bad situation. But we really need to make her understand, we need to make the government understand, and we need to call for justice. And I ask Theresa May, I ask you, I know that you have it in your power to make this hardship go away, to make it disappear. You have it within your power to bring justice for those who survived this atrocity, this catastrophic event. You have it within your power. So we are asking you, we are almost demanding upon you to ensure that everyone gets justice. Now, before I go, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you know, we're just a really sort of a modest, small, humble organisation, and you know, we've had so much support on this ride, but I really have to give a really big thank you to Mark Willsmore from Ace Cafe.
Hey.
Come on guys, let's put your hands together. Guys, Ace Cafe is an iconic location for motorcycles. It is recognized around the globe. And any person who knows, whenever they come to the UK, it is Ace Cafe they need to go to. And you always find bikers from around the world. And yet still, when I came with my one flyer for this Grenfell United Ride for Grenfell, I came back one modest flyer and I left it there. And the very same day, he called me back. Me, who am I? He called me back to say, Jamal, we're in. This is Ace Cafe, Mark Willsmore.
Thank you, Jamal. It's a real privilege and honour to be stood amongst you. Clearly, we were all moved, but it's very special to be motivated. You guys, Janelle, you guys here are clearly motivated. I don't mean to say, don't let go. Keep going, you'll get there. We're brothers, this is the story. Motivated, keep going. Thank you, my privilege.